I've always been very empathic. I've always been emotionally just like more sensitive than most people. And my story takes me into drugs and alcohol. So I ended up, with strong addiction issues, which again, I find a lot of empaths do, to numb all that. But I've always I've always been able, spirits have always come in time of need and asked for help, over the years. And so my story, like I said, it kind of goes up and down. It's like this big battle I've always had with, I call it ego, but it's fear, it's, drugs and alcohol. And so every time I would be doing well, or I would get sober for a while, my abilities would just come on super strong, and spirits would start showing up. And then, again, that's where the wizard comes from. I thought when that would happen, I thought I was like, one day I was walking by a TV, and there was this commercial in the background, and I would just get these chills that were so strong, and it just hit me like strong, like, whoa, what's going on? I turned and I looked, and it was a commercial for John Edwards Crossing Over. So, and I stopped dead in my tracks, and I looked at this commercial, and I said, that's what I do. I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't know what a medium was at that time. I didn't know. I had no idea that it was a thing. I just knew that was important. I got chills from head to toe, which meant pay attention, because I had learned to trust that. And I looked at it, and I said, that's what I do. And again, in that moment, I thought I was going to be this famous, wizard. That's where the ego, like, that's the battle for me, right? The ego came in immediately. And so I went out trying to do the work. And of course it didn't work for me, because I was doing it for the wrong reasons, or the ego was in the way. And so my story is a lot of this. Like, at that moment, I knew I was a medium. I knew I was supposed to do this work.